cloud. Okay. So I wanted to say a little bit just as a refresher and renewal around the open seat stuff. And it's particularly because we're doing a lot of taking our seat. And I want to make the link between having developed the taking our seat, watching 40 years of open seat and seeing something that looked difficult to me about people launching into an open seat without having done what we now call taking our seat, but that's just the name. But that without taking the time to get present in a few different ways, and then to go and turn toward whatever is arising. And often, of course, people use the time for turning toward things that are difficult to face because they're looking for support. Makes sense. But what I saw happen is that, number one, people would be they'd be trying to do it on their own without feeling more connected to a wider awareness. And that it would start to be about having an issue, which means, well, what am I going to do when I don't have any issues? Is this then done? And so I'd watch people start coming up with issues because they wanted to have an open seat. And it was sort of like, hey, wait, there is life beyond open seat. I mean, there's life beyond issues, life in the open seat, beyond having a problem. You know? And there were several factors that I saw. There was something missing here about what open seat is, what it can be, what it's for. And that's how I got into this, developing something specific. And so those elements of getting present, because we often are forgetting to live in our body. So part of taking our seat is consciously coming to bodily, sensate, breath awareness. I think we often are so caught in our thinking and doing that we forget to notice where we actually are and what this is, both immediately and in a really big way. Like, oh my God, I'm alive. I'm in a life. I have a past, a present, and possibly a future. I'm in a stream of ancestry leading to this moment. I've had many, many breaths. I've had a variety of experiences, and I am still here, right now. That kind of awareness of being. And that has to do with noticing the environment. And within all of that, I also connect to resource and basically bust that illusion we come into of thinking we're doing this all by ourselves. Because somehow that is the way we tend to think, especially under pressure. So we, on purpose, knowing this, start noticing. Is there any way I am not alone or on my own right now? Is there anything supporting me? Anything part of my being alive here? Any gifts, any givens? Anything bigger I can lean into? Anything I need to remember because it helps me show up here the way that at my bottom line, what makes my life valuable to me? How do I want to show up in this moment and in general? And what do I need to be able to show up that way? So taking our seat is also about remembering. That's a part of our mind helping us. I can remember what, when I remember this, I am able to be here, aligned with my values, with what has heart to me, what has meaning to me, what I care about. So that's another big part. What has heart and meaning to me? What do I really care about? How about if I align with that before I move forward into whatever it is I might be facing or feeling or discovering or exploring? So I take my seat in that that awareness. And taking our seat is all about awareness. Everything we're going to notice is already here. You don't have to make any of this up. You just have to reconnect. A fresh chance to notice. I am embodied. I am alive. I am a sensate organism. Here I am. I have boundaries. I have movements. I am made of the elements, and I am also part of an organism all around me. Life in me, life around me. And along with aliveness, there are sometimes things that are objects or images or totems that are a mirror of that living, that may embody beauty or embody meaning to me. So even the inanimate objects of my environment may be of support because of what they recall to me. Some of those may be outside, some of them may be in my mind's eye. And then what helps me show up in the way I really want to? What noticing, what awareness, what thoughts or words that I want to recall. Could just be some single words, could be a phrase that is an invocation for you. When I remember, fill in the blank, I show up more in the way that I want to. And take the seat in the qualities. Connect and lean into the supports. Inner and outer. And having done that, resting, not having to try anymore, just being. And at least part of the time, resting your awareness on the movement of your breathing. with nothing to do and nowhere to go, nothing to change, nothing to fix, no particular way to be, just here as you are with what is. Resting, allowing you as your breath to take the lead. Recognizing that you as your breath are always taking the lead. You just don't get noticed, maybe. But this time, being with that you inhales and exhales every minute of your lifetime. And as we go forward in these few hours together, you can return to this. You can never leave it. You can continue to refresh in these awarenesses and connections. You can come back and rest in breathing in the midst of your personal exploring time and in someone else's time. Whatever else we might focus on, whatever issues, material, arising figures come and go. That's the fact. They come and go. This is our ground. This is a way we can be present. And we never have to have an issue or a figure in open seat. Process will happen, just like our breath. We can go on a ride from moment to moment. That is the discovery model. So remember that even when you come with something that you really want and need to attend to, which is very valid use of open seat, leave the space for more than that to be part of your time. Because the more space we can allow, the more possibility we get to be aware of things we're not already aware of. And if what we're trying to turn toward or be with is a difficulty for us, all the rest of this awareness is a form of support. We can contact that which may be present but not so easy, and we can pause and come to all the rest of this. Take refuge in our breath, or turn our awareness to something nourishing or easy, easeful, and come back to what is difficult. That rotation is part of why we take our seat. Where can I go to catch a moment to help something that I could lean into in the midst of whatever I'm facing? Yeah, that's also all part of open seat. And we don't need to know where we're going, and we can bring ourselves to this right where we are, including all the wishes that we would go somewhere or something would be different. They're included. That's part of what is present now. I hope that bit by bit, it becomes more and more a sense of fun and or luxury to have support and time for whatever. Sometime there was one course where I was with a group of international people, very big movers and shakers kind of people, sweet, not ego-y, but that was their work. They had worked hard in a lot of different ways. And one of them was really trying to say, why are we doing this? Why would we want to do this? And I was going back and forth with them. And I said, I want to show up before I die. I'd really like to be here before I'm gone. And he got that. That made sense to him. So you could say that open seat is a chance to be here a little more fully before we're gone. With whatever. And sometimes that means being here with whatever keeps us from being here. Being here, exploring how we keep ourselves from being here so that we get from awareness to a choice. With the awareness of how we keep ourselves from being here the way we want to, we might find we have a choice. And then there's that third word, trust. So think of the trust part in terms of, I don't have to do this all by myself. I can't, and I won't. I stay in touch with letting something bigger and wiser than the me I think of as me support my process. I trust the bigger unfolding of life. I trust my organism. I trust evolution. Whatever all those creative movements are in this thing we are calling life, they're right here with me in this open seat. Whatever I'm doing and not doing, whatever I'm feeling and not feeling, all of that is right here. And I am part of all that. There's a sense of trusting into that, even when I'm stuck, even when it's closed. Well, sure, that's included. I'll trust that. For this moment, I'm going to trust that. Wherever I am, however I am. So the way I could trust that that is the door to being here. Not just my plan of where I want to go. Right? That where I am and what I'm contacting right now, however stuck, however, whatever, that's part of the door. So that's that sense of trust. I just show up, do my best, and I trust that life actually does want to unfold and will help me learn to cooperate. So that's the proposal around trust. Awareness leads to choice based in trust. So in terms of our course, we said the 3 jewels, those are the 3 jewels. And that's how it relates to how we sit here in open seat. Just playing with those, considering that, not believing it, considering. Oh, awareness. Does it lead me to any choices? Can I drop in a bit to being held by trust of this process, this big and personal, macro to my process of this moment, and this one, and this one. And that the fact that we're all here in it together is another part of open seat. When you do that, follow your awareness, see what your choices are, maybe play with trusting. I sit here and that's happening for me. I'm part of that. You're part of that in me. So there is that bigger effect that we sometimes find to be true. Don't forget, you can look up and check in about, oh, look, there's others. Use us. Okay, there we go. So each of you will have basically 50 minutes. I'll tell you when there's 5 or so minutes left. You don't have to use all that time. You can, depending how you go. I'll be active reflector. If it's okay with the person who explored, we'll invite echoes at the end of each person's turn. And we'll each have a turn. You'll each have a turn. I'll be taking some typing notes, echoes, just to have a written version for those of you who want it. If that's distracting, please tell me, I'll stop. I'd also miss a lot because I will be with you instead of not be able to do the dual thing. But every session can be recorded, doesn't need to be recorded. Just remind me yes or no at the beginning. So if you'd like to hear it later, we can send you that of your own session. Okay. Anything you want to say before we invite the first person to volunteer?
Nice to see you, ladies.
Yay, Dario.
Sorry for being late.
Yeah, it's good you're here. You always bring your forest with you.
It's the easiest first.
It's both of your forests.
I have a question, Chris. When you said that's what we're doing, we're bringing the 3 jewels in. And the way you said it, based in trust and playing with the 3 jewels, can you just say a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I was connecting it to the title of this course was about the cause of suffering and the 3 jewels, the Gestalt 3 jewels. And so I was making the connection that what I had just spoken of is what Dick called the 3 jewels: awareness, choice, and trust. So I was making that link that in dealing with, for right now, this month, the pleasure pain questions and the whole idea about what's intrinsic and what do I create. I wanted to remind us that, and here's our foundation, this exploration with awareness, then noticing choices, and I would say remembering trust. So that's the word I use to take the seat most frequently, trust. If I'm going to just use one word to find my seat, that's the word I use. Does that help, Joan? Is that?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, okay. So who wants to have the first shot here, exploring in what will undoubtedly be a 3-chapter but 1 book experience?
I'm willing if nobody else is ready. And I don't have a preference.
Anybody have a preference that you'd like to say?
I would like not to go first.
I have no preference, and if Elizabeth wants to go first, I'm all in.
All right, Elizabeth.
Oh boy.
Say that again.
Oh boy.
Sounded like there could be many flavors in there. Anything else you want to bring?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Noticing the soles of my feet just got really sweaty. Palms of my hands just got really sweaty. Aware of Joan saying she was in Point Reyes now, and I am just still feeling some real big ripples of excitement. They just come up my whole body, and just like happiness and hoping for the best of connection with nature and restoration.
Feel free to say it to her if you want, Elizabeth.
Joan, my heart is just like wanting to smell the eucalyptus with you and see the wind blowing across Point Reyes. And I am really just I'm really excited for you because I've had a lot of really beautiful nature experiences lately, and I wish I could bottle it and share it. And I hope you're having some. And I just, yeah. And then just allowing myself to slow down. Let's see, I want to put it so that I only put you guys in like over there. All right. Wow, well, good. I'm glad I wasn't supposed to rehearse an issue because I haven't.
Elizabeth, I'm going to bring you back even to what you just said, allowing myself to slow down.
Yeah. Mm.
Take some time with that allowing thing. You can express, but remember, you're not having to include us in a particular way, right? If you want to be very internal at any point, go
Right.
for it. But allowing myself, that allowing, how you can do that. There's a way of allowing yourself, in this case, to slow down. When I think of reading your echoes from lots of things, this allowing yourself part catches an echo for me, for you.
Yeah. It's how a lot of warmth rising up and tears, feeling of tears and brimming, just brimming with this wanting to allow myself. Yeah.
I want.
And I notice how quickly I shuttle into a thought of, yes, but. Slowing that down.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Even there, what would allowing be? What is even there? Allowing myself to have a thought. Allowing myself to slow again.
Yeah. I'm going to allow myself to get my box of tissues, which I left on the other side of this
I know
room.
I can't hand them to you. I really miss it.
They're not far away. I have resources. I have resources. Yeah, I like to be the person who distributes the boxes around the circle. And then I always make sure mine is really close at hand. I don't just take care of everyone else. I make sure that one of them is really close to me. So I notice when I say that, it's like, I want to take care of myself. I want to get the tissues for me. And I cleverly disguise that in making sure I take care of all of you. And you think that's what I'm doing, that I'm taking care of you. But really, it's about getting these close to me. And it feels really good to admit that.
So, okay, it feels good to tell you that you want to take care of me.
I want to take care of me. And I don't give myself space and permission to do it unless I can also.
I don't give myself the space, the permission. I'm going to add a word, the right to take care of myself unless
I have trouble getting to the right. I have trouble getting to the right. I can imagine permission, because that I can go, yes, permission, no permission, yes, permission, no permission. And there's an external quality to permission being granted, even within myself. But I have a right. The word that comes along with that is inalienable. And I'm not so sure I've been convinced that I have an inalienable right to take care of myself first.
Inalienable. What? We're not trying to convince you, but let's explore.
Okay.
What would be true if you have an inalienable right to take care of yourself?
Huh. As you ask me that, I hear Scott arrive, having just gone to the grocery store, because I directly asked for support right before this. Gave him the list and said, I need you to do this for me. But I don't know. Inalienable. I don't know. I know one thing. Last year, a year and a half ago, I decided not to give away my kidney. I decided that I couldn't do it, that I had an inalienable right to both of my kidneys.
There's that right there, the feeling that's coming. And that memory.
I feel like I let everybody down.
So check the thought and the feeling here. So my thought is that I let you down, whoever everybody is in this case. And when I think I let you down, which is, I'm not saying it's wrong, Elizabeth, I'm not challenging you about it, but then I have a feeling. Let's make it distinguish. I make an evaluation here. Let you down.
The feeling is like I have like a hoodie on that I have to keep all the way down my face, that I'm in this, like hiding, and that everything's brought forward. The feeling in my body is hunched.
So go ahead and go into that covered place, your hoodie. And as you enter and be in your hoodie without at this moment trying to change anything about this, possible. Just will remind you how you said, yeah, I want these Kleenex. So I cleverly disguise it as if I'm doing something for all of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you put it as a disguise. And right here with your kidney, there was no disguise. There was something out front about a boundary.
Yeah.
Need. None undisguised. And just want to make that clear, the disguising, that suave, a way of handling your concern about wanting something, needing something.
Yeah.
And what it's like when you don't hide. I need something from me. This is about me. I'm taking care of myself, even if it doesn't take care of you. That's the sentence that comes to me.
I took care of myself, even with it not being, even with it being, I didn't take care of them. Yeah, I took care of myself.
I didn't hide taking care of myself.
I didn't hide taking care of myself. I was honest on a whole medical questionnaire. I could have answered those questions in such a way that hid things or minimized things, but I was honest.
And notice you coming out of your hoodie here.
Yeah, pretty off.
I was honest.
I was honest. And I even said to Scott, if they pass me on the medical questionnaire and say I'm still eligible, when they get me in the little room and they ask me the psychological questions, I'm going to tell them I don't want to do it. And I know that they're not allowed to disclose to the recipient why I got disqualified because it's HIPAA and everything else. And I said, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I won't do it. I don't want to do it.
Great. Just take each of those. You get to have all three of the pieces of truth there. I can't. There's a piece of the truth.
Yeah.
I won't. Is a
I won't.
different piece of the truth. And I don't want to. Each of them get to have as much time in each of those seats as you want.
Oh yeah, because I didn't want to and I don't want to. Oh, I'm just noticing a moment of gratitude to myself that my decision from 2 years ago has not changed. I don't have regret. I don't second guess. I'm not finding like, oh, I should have or something. None of that. I'm very clear that today, what is it, August 2022 is the same feeling I had in August of 2020 and August in 2021. And yeah, I'm very clear. I don't want to, I didn't want to, I still don't want to.
And I didn't.
And I didn't. Yeah.
Would you just say this to each of our faces one at a time, just so you have the chance to simply name it?
Thank you. Joan, I didn't want to give up one of my kidneys and I didn't. And I don't want to. I don't want to, so I didn't. And Dario, even though one of my sons needed a kidney and the other son wanted me to give me the kidney so he didn't have to, and it was this whole family thing, I didn't want to, and I didn't. And I'm still clear. I don't want to do that. I made the right decision for me, for my body.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I made the right decision for me and my body.
Yeah.
Oh.
I made the right decision for me and my body. I didn't have anything. I didn't feel like I had it left to give. It's like there was one Kleenex box left in the room. And there was only a little bit of Kleenex left. And I wasn't going to give it away. It was like, okay.
I'm not giving myself away here.
I noticed I'm doing this. Like I had given so much away. I was at the end of what I could give away. Just
Take your time here, Elizabeth, because you've just said a mouthful, a whole lot. And I want to just have you come to your breath, and I'm going to actually say some of it like an echo, if that's okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I made the right decision for me and my body.
Yeah.
I didn't have it left to give.
I didn't have it left to give.
I'm not giving myself away here.
I am not giving myself away. I am not giving any more of myself away until I'm dead. Then the organ donor thing is fine.
Yeah, it's really a very concrete way that
Yeah.
of having to decide, am I going to give myself away? Like literally.
Myself will have left the organs. When that happens, fine, take them, spread them out, share amongst. And I will take as good a care as I can of those organs until then.
Okay, so just to recap this a little, there's that feel good breath, sitting back a little, like maybe that chair is there
Mhm.
for you.
Mm.
So when you had that first image of passing out the Kleenex boxes and including one close to you, and you frame that as disguising. I just accepted that at that moment. I am going to let myself add right now, because I know you can be pretty hard on yourself. I think that having enough to give away
Yeah.
while taking care of yourself
Ah,
is actually this sweet blessing.
yeah. Yeah.
There's a gift. I can give to myself and to you. It's not an either or.
Right.
So just feel the difference if you give everybody else Kleenex boxes and don't keep one for yourself.
Oh, ew. Oh, wait. That has never happened in the yurt, Chris. It will not happen in that yurt.
Right. And feel it in the bigger sense, that place where I will give this all away to you and I will not have one.
No.
That's what Fritz would call sacrifice.
Yeah, I'm done with that. I am done with that.
Right.
I have done that. I have had many times in my life where
Right.
breastfeeding twins for 15 months was that.
That's right. And that's probably the one most appropriate version of sacrifice you could possibly afford here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That actually, that's to me, this is a woman sharing with a woman. It's the one place where sacrifice makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Is in those months.
Yeah.
Then there's the place of I take Kleenex box for me and fuck the rest of you.
Oh, that's not me. I don't, there may be a time I've done that, and that's just not how I operate.
Right. So that's not what you're saying. I just want to make it clear, these contrasts.
Yeah, no, wow. It's so clear.
And then there's the one, I take the Kleenex box, and I'm not saying fuck to you guys. I just am not noticing. Right now I'm focused on this Kleenex box. I need a Kleenex box. You may need things or not need things. I have nothing pro or con about that. I'm just focused here.
Right.
I need a Kleenex box right now. Is there a Kleenex box? This is between me and the box.
Right. Right.
Okay, there's that one.
When
And then
there's
there's somebody else saying, hey, I need some Kleenex. Can I have some out of your box? Or that box?
If there's that many, okay, but when it's down to 3 Kleenex, which to me is the one kidney analogy, I hope you want to blow your nose on your shirt, because these are going to stay with me.
Okay, good. Feeling that. And I'm imagining that's where it gets trickier for you.
Yeah.
And where disguising, calling it disguising.
Disguising.
right? You said, I have to disguise that I want this box.
Yeah.
So just, we don't have to make this go anywhere, but you might just for a moment see how old that is, Elizabeth. How long have you been making those negotiations about, I need this, there's not enough for everybody, maybe. I'm not going to share what I absolutely need if there's scarcity. I am going to keep it for myself. What I got for myself, I will keep for myself. What is mine? What I need.
That's old.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah. I don't have any image or event or memory of that. And as you said that, I was like, wow, somewhere between age 3 and 5, there's a learning how to be seen as generous, seen as socially pleasant, seen as acceptable, seen as, oh, back to that other word. Oh, right. I still can't figure, I don't know when. Did I ever know it was a right?
It's interesting to think of it in terms of right and wrong.
Different. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Seen as acceptable, generous.
Yeah.
So noting that outer look.
Yeah.
I need to I need to be seen this way by you.
Yeah.
If I take care of myself, it's back. If I take care of myself without managing how you see me,
Oh, managing. Managing takes a lot of energy. Managing is like dancing on my tiptoes all the time. Just no being on my butt bone. Just managing is exhausting. I want to just sit back on my butt and
feel that. I want to sit back on my butt. And I'm bringing in some previous words and be honest.
yeah. And be honest.
Sitting back on my butt, out my tiptoes, without tiptoeing, without dancing.
Yeah. Oh. I notice in this moment as my body feels this moment of equilibrium, this moment of pause, my mind thought jumps out of it and the thoughts begin to be adaptive thoughts about managing this situation, this open seat time, the coulds, the shoulds, the woulds, and how quickly I throw up. Maybe IFS would say, oh, my manager wants to regain control or something, but what I'm learning to do in this moment with you and in this moment of this course is to notice that and come back on my butt and just breathe again and just pause again and slow it down again.
Feel the chair,
Yep.
feel the ground. So you get to feel both your butt and all of that slowing and pausing. That's your inner remembering. And then go ahead where the manager is going to connect with managing out here.
Yeah.
Consciously connect to what supports you in this action. So you're not doing it all on your own. And,
Yeah.
right? Like we're having ground or having the chair, anything that is with you when you sit back.
Yeah.
Because the manager knows to look out
Yeah.
and manage this out here.
Right.
But your butt might know to look somewhere else so that there's still other and connection.
Mm.
Yeah, what are you in relationship to? What are you connected with even as you sit?
Mm. I brought in my little special place of tranquility because it's on a small table, and I brought it into this room right before I logged on, and so I'm seeing my pictures and my special objects and seeing a candle, and I went out and picked myself a bunch of rose petals so that I would have like this very strong scent. So my manager over the past couple of hours has shown up to support me also.
Right. Manager, good. Welcoming manager here.
Yeah.
Letting manager learn to connect to this. Right.
Yeah.
Inviting your manager to sit deeply back with you.
Yeah.
Into the rose petals that were managed.
Right.
The thoughtfulness of the manager on your behalf.
Oh my God, there was no one else to give them to. I didn't have to distribute them around the room first. These were just for me.
Manager, just noticing what it's like to take care of Elizabeth.
Oh, it's really fun. And I still try to do it in private because I don't want to get noticed that I'm spending too much attention on her with such frivolities of picking the dead roses off the bush and bringing the petals in. I take care of her privately.
Don't want too much attention to this note to be noticed in doing this.
Right.
If you noticed, if I was out front with taking care of Elizabeth,
Oh my God. Oh, I just got like great goosebumple tingles all down my front of my arms and legs. I mean, I can see the goosebumps on my legs. Literally on the front of my legs, like out front. It's like this energized, like, yeah.
say it again. What was that? Manager, tell us again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And out front. non-hidden,
Like,
not private, could be seen, could
Like-
be seen.
could be seen exercising, or could be seen making phone calls, or could be seen opening this part, or could be seen maybe even risking making a mistake. Huh. Uh,
Yes,
could be
well,
seen taking the risk to be rejected, but would be seen, would be
right.
seen.
I might get rejected.
I might get rejected.
I
I
might
might
make a mistake.
make a mistake. I might get feedback that I impacted somebody in such and so a way that wasn't comfortable. And I would be seen. I would be alive. I would be present. And my manager and me, I mean,
This has to become a song, Elizabeth, but keep going. My manager and me. Yeah, some kind of love song, buddy song. Okay.
yes.
Yeah, but as manager, continue to feel, manager, what it is if you do not hide yourself when what you're doing is taken care of, Elizabeth. If you get to be out front, if you don't tiptoe around doing it, if you don't have to dance pretty for everybody else and get it on the sly, if you don't have to do it under your hoodie, if you get to be out here, what I love to say is shamelessly. Yes, shamelessly taking care of this being who you are part of.
Ah, I am shameless about keeping my kidneys, and I guess I felt or feel guilt. Little different flavor, right? So when I live guilt when I feel guilt, I'm crossing my values. I'm not living up to my values, right? I'm offending my own value about something.
Well,
So
we can
when you
just
said
explore
shamelessly,
that.
I just went into this. Do I have shame about saying I
Hmm.
keep my kidneys? And it went to the guilt, and
So we've got some terminology questions, but
Yeah.
let me try to take away both the words and come to the experience.
Yeah.
One says, there is that experience where I have done something that in my own estimation doesn't feel good to me.
Right.
It is against me.
Yeah.
It's not just about you. It's against something in me. My values is the way you put it.
Right.
Then there's another version where I'm getting messages from the outside and I'm trying to do something to screen those messages.
So I rejected the label of shame from my family about not giving a kidney, and I still felt a little violating my own values because I had some value that I should sacrifice my body to protect my sons.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to put in the word regret here too. Let's bring the word regret in, which is a very personal experience that doesn't have much to do with outside people.
Yeah.
Feeling if there is a part of regret here as compared to I should, because there's distinction. I should and I wish.
Yeah. No, it's a little bit of regret, but it's gotten right sized over the year. Yeah. A little bit of regret that I didn't protect their bodies, and I'm still clear that I didn't want to and that I don't want to. And a little bit of regret still lives with that.
It's mixed feelings, Mom.
Yeah.
Mixed feelings for sure.
Yeah.
You get to have mixed feelings.
And when I touch the sides of my body, oh, I am really glad, really glad. Yeah.
So just so you know, we have just a few more minutes.
Thank you.
Just don't hurry, but just knowing we're headed there.
Mm. So somehow my manager managed me to get me and my body aligned with saying, no, I'm not giving a kidney.
Tell your manager you helped.
Manager, you showed up when it mattered in a timely fashion, and you did the right thing. You didn't disguise it. You told the truth. You were right up front with people, even when they didn't want to hear it. And thank you. Huh. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm just feeling, again, manager, you have a moment here to really feel the difference between you doing what you do in hiding
Right.
and doing what you do out front.
Out front. Caring for myself matters, and it mattered, and it still matters. I still matter. Yeah.
There's a new possibility. I can openly care for myself.
Oh. Okay, when I write that on a post-it, maybe I'll just put it in a little corner first so nobody sees it.
I think a sign on the front lawn might do well. One of those rainbow banners, darling.
Okay, I'm writing that one down now. I'm not even waiting until the end because that's good. That's good. All right.
And all the ways you could fill in, I can openly attend to my needs. I can openly take care of myself. You can just keep letting all those things that have had to be disguised or tiptoed or act as if it's all for someone else, when one of your key needs and concerns is that I have something I need.
Oh, yeah.
All these different ways.
Yeah.
So from disguise to open, from private, and again, we're not trying to say it has to be this rather than that. You get to
Right.
keep everything on the menu, but this is the unexplored territory. So you want to start putting them out here as I cans in inclusion. What else beside private is allowed? What else is there? What other ways to be alive?
Right. Wow, thank you. That I'm so glad I didn't come with an issue or anything today. I was just started with. Wow. Thank you. Wow, that really feels complete and exactly where I needed to be with it.
You started with noticing something, Elizabeth, that you saw.
Yeah.
I just want to say you noticed something about the Kleenex box.
Yep.
You noticed a small repetitive behavior of your own and decided to look at it. That's your duty. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
How about a little C of A there, just in back to this moment, inner and then outer.
Just noticing the room feels much warmer. Noticing I've put my glasses back on. That's often what I do when I recompose myself and kind of come back into thinking and feeling and being present without the big exploring externally or internally. Yeah. Noticing Dario's got a different something going on in his background. And seeing Joan sit there and seeing trees outside her window. Noticing your background and yeah, feeling very much in the circle with you. Thank you.
How do you feel about some echoing? Do you like that, Elizabeth?
I'm very honored when there are echoes, most particularly when there are echoes of that are really, where it's really an echo that landed with somebody. It's like it's a real honor.
Unmute if you have any echoes that are reverberating in you that landed for you.
I let everybody down. Hoodie that I can keep down on my face.
Say that one again, Dario.
Hoodie that I can have to keep down on my face. I'm not sure if it's some 100%.
Got it. Yeah.
I didn't hide taking care of myself, not giving away any of myself anymore until I'm dead. Until dead. That was until dead stuck. I cannot repronounce that word. I don't know that word. Inalienable right.
Inalienable.
Oh
Mhm.
wow, that I read that all
That's
wrong.
right. It's a even in English speakers, it's not an easy word. Inalienable, meaning you
Inalienable.
can't
Right.
alienate it. You can't make it
I
other.
understand it,
Yeah.
but I cannot repronounce it.
Right.
That these who were just for me, my manager and me, mixed feelings, Mom. I can't openly take care of myself. I can't openly take care of myself.
Mm.
And just to give you, Elizabeth, the drawing that came out for me is it's like a chocolate croissant with wings, and it has an atom above itself, and it's flying away.
That's awesome.
It has a what about itself?
It has like an atom, like with
An
with
atom. Thank you.
and there seems to be a peach following it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh God. Your visions are, we just want to see them all, babe.
Thank you, Dario.
Elizabeth.
Hiding, hunched, inalienable, all right. I can't, I won't, I don't want to. I can't, I won't, I don't want to. I don't want to. I was at the end of what I could give away. I can give to myself and you. It is not an either or. I have to disguise that I want this. take care of myself without managing how I'm seen. I can openly care for myself. Thank you.
Anything you want to add, Joan, in a short version of the session you had? Like, he had a vision. Is there something particular that stays with you in
Yeah.
the moment?
I realize I have like an agitation. I realize I can't just be and say what I want, what I need, without being punished or put down in some of my family. And what happens is I'm having arguments, future arguments, that I'll never be able to really have. And if I do, it'll be very bad for me. And also just being told how I feel or being told what my experience is, which is complete. So I was having a session of arguing back with that. Like, that is complete bullocks. You have no idea. There's room enough for all of it. You have your experience, I have mine. Don't tell me who I am, what I am, and what I do. That was what I'm having. Yeah. And just the clarity of the words, I can't, I won't, I don't want to. It's so clear. I like even saying those words, I have chills. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. I think a couple minutes into this, I started thinking about, oh my God, I wonder how this is impacting Joan. And I decided I didn't have to take care of you. And I hope it's like I dedicate the merit of my open seat to all who suffer this family thing. So it's really good to be here with you both. Thank you. And you, Chris.
A moment of equilibrium. My thoughts start being adaptive to manage this moment, this open seat. And I'm leaning back onto my butt. My manager did these roses. I made the right decision for me and my body. For me and my body. Allowing myself. Allowing myself. I'll just make a note while it's fresh that these 8 worldly concerns, we can watch them at work here and how they start off survival like. I'm going to manage not to be in ill repute or insignificant, the object of criticism. And I'm going to really focus on you and getting your approval and getting you to notice me and see me in the way that will avoid those other things. And we're not working directly with those pairs, but when they do, here's a little tag of some origin, whether it's however specific or generalized we are in touch with it. but you had an age space where there was some survival sense, and then how we keep transferring that as we get older, as if our survival still depended on doing this. And that's the tricky part, is when our child who this was the coping they knew how to do. These were the adjustments they knew how to make to get big enough to be grown up. And yet we keep letting that child's view create our decisions, our choices, our way of showing up and not showing up. And then we have dukkha. We have unnecessary suffering. So it was just really wonderful to watch that infamy, that concern of how will you see me? What will that mean to you? And then when you change that and you got all that goosebump response and you said aliveness, at this shift, this point, oh, that's what it's costing me. That rush that came forward is what I don't have when I do the old thing. So it just was a great, I just wanted to, I hope it's okay to do some channel to Elizabeth and doesn't take away from your direct experience, because I just want to make the connections.
No, it was all I could do to not interrupt myself and ask that kind of thing. So I really appreciate it. So
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful embodied laying out of that shift. The cost balance sheet.
As you were talking, Chris, I had this thing going on in my head. If somebody asked me to give my kidney, I would probably go, yes, of course, why not? And the second I would have said that, the other question would be, wait, what?
Yes.
And I would have already said yes without thinking about anything.
Without thinking about anything. Yeah. So that's a good line, Dario. I would say yes without thinking about anything. And then to work that toward what are all the thoughts you did not let yourself think? Slowing down and redoing that. That taking that very specific fantasy and saying, if I pause here, I said, yes, oh, wait 1 second. Let me think. Then what are all the thoughts that would have been skipped? Because we don't want to get rid of the yes. That is true too. It's just what got left out. This isn't a direct fit, but I'll just put it in about gift, sacrifice, and bribe, and Fritz's little thing about that. And he would talk about a gift is when both sides of the equation come out well. So nursing was actually his example, Elizabeth. And he talked about a cow and a calf, because if that cow doesn't have nursing, her udders are really in trouble, like we all know from engorgement, right? So when the cow nurses on a cow full of milk, they both win. That's called gift. And we probably know that about the exchange between people. When I offer you something that I have to give and you receive it, oh, it's a wonderful feeling. It's in the ways that we know that richly, it's as good a feeling to the person who gave it as to the one who receives it. It's an exchange that has a completeness. It's lovely. That feeling when that is in balance, when I watch how many people, after they work with their issues, come down to the final issue is, I need someone to receive my love. I need a place to put love. That's one of the hardest issues because it's not so much my mistake. I just haven't figured out how to find a way to take this that I have that's great and get it, sock it in a plug, you know? So the gift of that flow. Then he would talk about sacrifice. And that's when the calf is nursing on a mother that has no milk. And it happens to be a lose-lose. Because the calf is not getting what it would go to the udder for. There isn't the milk there. And the mother's giving something that it doesn't really have. So the calf is under the illusion that it's getting what it needs, but it isn't. So it doesn't go and leave and find what it really needs. In other words, the mother, you could say, does a disservice to the calf because now the calf doesn't turn to other resources. And the world doesn't get in action with it because it appears that there's something happening here that is not happening. There isn't nourishment there being received. There was no nourishment to give. It's a problem. So he called that sacrifice, but you can see it's more than just sacrifice. It's a missed opportunity for a need to be filled because it's not really being filled, but there is an appearance of filling. And then the third one he talks about is bribe. If you're a good little calf and act the way I want you to and look it, I'll give you some milk. I'll be the good little calf you want me to be, and maybe I'll get some milk. So there's a bribe seduction. So I understand it's kind of crude and compartmentalized, but I have found it useful when navigating subtleties to sort of say, where is those three things landing in how I'm organizing my experience right now? Do I know those three feelings? They have a flavor or a taste in a way, you could say. Okay. All righty. You okay if we take just a break to go, if you need a water in, water out, and we'll come right back?